Finn is going to do Sara Bash now. He is going to use Bashes.
A minute away from his PB if everything goes well. Oh my god.
Is that faster?
Is that faster? Big jerk sometimes. He doesn't want to play nice. Oh my good lord.
What a save!
Oh! He makes it. Wow.
Oh my god, nice!
Good time of day, everyone. Welcome back to the Ori and the Blind Forest All Skills Tournament. It is certainly some time of night here on the US West Coast and throughout the United States, but for our two runners here, number 15 seed CheeseLover, it is the afternoon as he is from New Zealand, and for number 18 seed Tritonite, it is the morning as he is from Europe. So we've got a kind of great multinational broadcast for you here tonight, and we're going to hopefully provide you quite a show. My name is Voligen. I'm here to broadcast the action alongside Australian OG 1764. OG, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good this afternoon. I'm looking forward to this race. It should be pretty close. The second closest that we've got by seed, 15 and 18. So I think it'll be a good race.
I think so too, and of course, you know, this being the bracket stage, it's always interesting to take a look at the bracket and see what the implications here are going to be. And as you can see on this display here, where we've got up near the top on the right side, number 15 CheeseLover, number 18 Tritonite, going against one another. The winner heads on to face the number 2 seed Wilson. That's certainly not an enviable task, OG, but you know, we could really see either of these runners go forward to face Wilson, couldn't we?
Yeah, exactly. Having a quick look at their stats, there's only there's a very small difference between their PBs. I think it's only 30 seconds. So it's definitely inside variance that either runner could either PB or come out on top in this race.
Yeah, and you can even see from their qualifier times as well, the averages that they got during the course of the qualifier stage. They pretty much separated by approximately the same amount as their PBs. And for that matter, their seating on the actual leaderboard of the game is also really close. CheeseLover having the 18th fastest time in the world, Tritonite 23rd, so not very far behind. As you can see here, they will be doing the same general route, the Terra Break route, to access the top of Sara Pass, and there is also an input method difference. And OG, you know, you and I have feelings about this.
Yeah, one of these is clearly superior, so we already know who's going to win. CheeseLover looks like he's opting for a 6th health cell just for a bit of safety. Obviously not the dead fastest strat, but it's way faster than dying in the escape and getting sent back.
Yeah, and for sure you want to think about things like that when it comes into a bracket situation where this is the round of 32 here for this tournament is one and done. There's one game, and if you lose, you're out. So Cheese and Tritonite, they both know what the stakes are here. Cheese, of course, not taking it too seriously to show off a little bit of cutscene action, but the race timer should get underway in just a few moments. As we are about to start, I will mention that Tritonite has been on some very good paces lately, OG, decently ahead of his PB. And CheeseLover, for his part, he thinks he's going to be able to play pretty well tonight. He tells us he's not going to miss to our cutscene skip. He just says, I'm not missing it. But he is likely to miss the Grotto God Cycle, which he thinks will cost him about 8 seconds. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, exactly. CheeseLover had a pretty good run earlier, within a second of PB coming into Horu. Hopefully he'll be able to recreate a run like that here, as both the runners are just starting off heading towards our first skill sign after getting this energy cell.
We're We're gonna have our quick encounter with this Rhino here as well, and both runners will just make sure they don't get softened up by him too bad. But fortunately, right after that, you do get a full heal here as we pick up signs. So both runners coming in at basically the same time here. No real differences so far. Wouldn't really expect any. We'll see if their shot pacing here, maybe one of them misses shot timing or something. CheeseLover, I guess you would expect to have a slight advantage thanks to the scroll wheel here, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Controller mashing, it's pretty difficult to get a no-stop. It looks like Tritonite's going for it though. It doesn't quite get on that second Fronky. But overall, it's pretty clean between both of them. That's a minuscule amount of time that's being lost.
Certainly shouldn't decide the race by any means. Cheese taking a little bit of damage right there. Tritonite managing to get by with a very precise jump over that spore, so saving him just a little bit of trouble. Cheese is going to go ahead and jump on up and get his XP animation at the top. Tritonite as well. So they're already pretty much evened out for that one little mistake by Tritonite in the Frankie fight. And of course here, we're taking great care to make sure our HP and XP are both a pretty good amount. So Tritonite should be at 2 right now. Cheese is at 2 as well. He just double checked. And they'll be going for their ghost doors in just a moment.
Yeah, exactly. Coming through here is always a slight pain, especially if you miss that jump at the front and you're in the habit of taking a damage boost from that top slime. But both of these runners of a very high caliber and going through this ghost door without any problem at all as they both head up to this health cell.
We do know both of them will be taking this as well. For CheeseLover, a second health cell later on to get him set up for 5 HP going into the late game. That's potentially going to be a very important difference, OG, because Tritonite, not having that extra HP when you get to Sorrow Pass later on, that can be very, very scary, and we might see that be a difference in this round.
Yeah, definitely. Tritonite, though, I'd imagine having an extra health cell is nice, but sometimes that can play in the back of your mind. Just having that bit of extra safety can almost make you lean on it too much. So it'll be interesting to see if Cheese goes for sort of safer strats that maybe he's less comfortable with, that aren't as deeply ingrained in his muscle memory. But we'll have to see. They're both heading into wall jump, both with pretty respectable times, mid-20s.
Yeah, 21 for Cheese, 22 for Tritonite, both very good. We will see, of course. I agree with your point. It's a very good one as to whether or not that extra safety will kind of, affect Cheese as he goes. For now, we're picking up our favorite energy cell in the game, the second one. Throwback to last year's All Skillers tournament. Tritonite in his first appearance of that tournament. Some of his first competitive action with Ori. Forgetting that health cell after a death, no problems now. I only mentioned it, of course, because it came up as a joke in his chat the other day, and we had a good laugh over it. It's a lot easier to laugh about something like that, a year after the fact, than it is after it costs you a race.
Yeah, joking about things dead after losing a race is like, that's not on. Something interesting to note there, Tritonite leveling up on the way out, and Cheese is leveling up on the way down. So Tritonite's going to have a lot more XP coming in to Blackroot than CheeseLover is. So we'll have to keep that in mind to see what slimes they're going to be killing and where.
Yeah, the important thing, of course, is their goal is to end up 19 XP shy of leveling. So, they're both skipping that 15 XP orb right there, which means they're both going for the kind of more traditional strats. Yeah, you can see Tritonite's XP wheel. He's got a ton more XP. So Cheese is going to go ahead and take Magnet. Tritonite is going to take Quick Flame. So that means we are going to be seeing some magnetless action from him. So he is going to be, that is both inside BRB, where he is going to be able to skip some XP from one of these slimes and make sure he doesn't level up accidentally. And also, he's going to have to do Frankie Walk without magnets. So that's a really challenging strat to be displaying here.
Yeah, something to note is that it's obviously a lot easier to only pick up to only kill 2 slimes, which is what Tritonite needs to do here when you don't have magnet. So it looks like that leveling up on the coming out of wall jump has worked in his favor. And I'll be interested to see if CheeseLover is going to try and make this new quick cycle up at the top.
Well,
It
that
looks
stop
like he's
right
waiting
there.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah, the first stop right there immediately told us no, because it's very precise and requires some very quick jumps. And Cheese is a very fast player, but that strat is basically only for the faint of mind, in my opinion. Some people might disagree, but it's all right. Cheese does a reload instead with a save. Tritonite doing similar strats to be able to make it up just behind CheeseLover. So they're basically neck and neck right here. Difference of about a second or two still, which is really fun to see here.
Yeah, I hope that we get a close race with not too much spaghetti, but, you know, I love some good pasta. If we get some lead changes, I think that'll be really good. But at the moment, the only thing that I think we need to be looking at is to see if either of them are going to be doing the cutscene stack into blind movement at the at this cutscene here.
Yeah, and there's an interesting thing to note about like the implications of that strat. If you're doing the slime genocide approach inside Blackroot Burrows, killing all the slimes, that usually means you need to kill an extra one on the way out. And so it's not really an option to do the cutscene stack, which kind of makes you do blind movement on the way out, or more accurately, doesn't save time. So you see Cheese here is doing the normal skip, and so is Tritonite. So neither of them is going for it, but they do have the option if they wanted to, while doing the non-genocide strats for BRB. In any case, they come in here to the tree pretty close to one another OG, and now we're going to go into our good old Frankie walks, and we'll see what we see here.
Yeah, this sort of lead can be easily eaten up by Frankie Walk. It's surprisingly easy to lose a bit of time with just one or two bad jumps, and suddenly you've lost 5 seconds on your double jump split. So Tritonite could very easily make his way ahead of Cheese just by having a much cleaner Frankie Walk. Hopefully we don't see any more of Blackroot until much later on.
Yeah, well, we'll see for Tritonite. Of course, he is doing the magnetless strat, so he is going to have to take one extra jump from his Frankie. Having Quick Flame is going to help him out a little bit later, but for now, a little bit of extra time lost right here. Cheese gets through his door. Tritonite is going to wait for the Frankie to be in a specific position. He gets through his door. Very nice. Cheese through the moat. He is going to go for Death Glide here. Tritonite also through the moat. Cheese's Death Glide is clean. Tritonite is going to shoot all the brambles using Quick Flame, so that gives him a little bit safer traversal there, and he's through, and so is Cheese. So everything looks good here, except that one jump that Tritonite's doing that, okay, now he has a save down. We're fine.
Yeah, I think Tritonite went to heal those spores as a bit of a safety strat, as we see Cheese just missing out on the God Cycle as he expected. Tritonite now coming up for it, and similarly is unable to get it. That's costing about 8 seconds, but given that it happened to both runners, it's negligible, or there's no effect rather.
Yeah, that was pretty close for both of them. I think Cheese's, it was close on the wall run, but he kind of mistimed one of those jumps there, so it's just not possible for him to get. And for Tritonite, his timing getting to the blocks was nearly optimal, but just didn't quite work out. In any case, we've gotten to double jump, and Cheese is going to learn an ability to get his blind movement going. Tritonite doing the same. It's the same ability for both of them. They're both learning regroup, so they've both done the same two blue abilities, but Tritonite doing that Quick Flame route, the magnetless route, so he has gone for Quick Flame instead of Magnet, and so, by this point, that shouldn't make too big of a difference until the Ginso tree, where Tritonite is going to be able to take a little bit of advantage of Quick Flame, so we'll see how that helps. In the meantime, Grotto skip for CheeseLover right here, and a very, very clean first try.
Yeah, that was incredible. There was no hesitation coming off as we see Tritonite with just sitting on that right wall, just slightly longer, but just as clean, gets it off first try as well. As we've got this rekindle here, just to skip the Rockfall cutscene.
And you want to talk about the level of play that we're seeing from both runners here. Oh, as I was about to say, CheeseLover just missed this cutscene skip. Tritonite's going to get it, so that's going to save back some of this deficit. which was already pretty small. But the level of play right here, CheeseLover was 9 seconds behind his PB at double jump. And keep in mind, he missed the grotto cycle in this run just now, so that's 8 seconds. So he's playing pretty much at PB level. And Tritonite, for his part, is tied with his PB as of double jump. So they're both really playing at basically their optimal level here, with only minor mistakes on either side. So this is basically ideal for both of them.
Yeah, Tritonite seemed to have a little bit of difficulty scaling that wall. He's almost lost the time that he gained from CheeseLover missing that cutscene skip, and as I talk about now, he seems to have some more troubles just climbing up here. Grotto walls are literally impossible.
Yeah, that said, Cheese just took a death at the top there right after his save, so it wasn't a huge death, but it did pretty much narrow that gap once again. So Tritonite now a second or two behind Cheese, just climbing up to get his ability cell here, and they're going to be both going to the same cycle, with Cheese taking 2 damage there from that spinner, so a little bit scary. He just wants to make sure that he does not accidentally take an extra damage somewhere along the way. His 5th HP is not coming until a little bit later, so right now he has just damage down to 1. Tritonite, meanwhile, is on 3, and she's putting the save down to do this cutscene skip. So he's back to 2, thanks to regroup, and Tritonite will be back to full. And they will head into the Ginso tree, again, still neck and neck.
Yeah, there's only a couple of seconds here, and our truck is informing us that Cheese is 19 seconds behind his PB at Enter Ginso. So he seems to be having a godlike early game, by his standards, and there's only a 4-second delta as well, so I'd imagine that Tritonite is not too far off his PB still either, despite some flubbed movement on the way in.
And some very clean movement from both runners in this early section of Ginso. Tritonite taking this bottom route here in Ginso, so that saves him about 1 second on Cheese there. And we're going to head on in to this slow redirect puzzle room. So we're going to get to see this rare treat where both runners are in this room waiting on this same thing at the same time. And that just shows you how close they are right now. CheeseLover, basically, again, that deficit, that loss of time as he came into Ginso, pretty much coming from that death and not much else. Everything's going really well. Both runners really kind of clicking right now. They haven't made any major mistakes. Here, this mini-boss, though, CheeseLover having the advantage of Scroll Wheel, but Tritonite having Quick Flame might be able to save back some of that time he might otherwise lose by being on controller.
Yeah, just before it started, Tritonite was warming up some of his mashing, and it looked pretty clean, especially being on controller, as he just takes some damage there to make the Ghost Door coming into Bash just that little bit cleaner.
Actually, he had a brief moment there. He actually ran out of energy, and I was a little bit concerned there, but he picked up the energy crystal. Another nice little advantage of Quick Flame on controller. It's very hard to pick up that energy crystal in the room just before this with normal shooting, but with Quick Flame, it is a lot more straightforward. So Tritonite able to pick it up, able to do his Ghost Door. Both runners have come into the Bash tree, and they are in the tree animation simultaneously. This race continuing to prove exactly as close as we pretty much expected it to be.
Yeah, definitely. Cheese even coming in with the swag hyperspeed, coming up to Bash, as we've got everybody's most enjoyable part, especially while they're learning, and that's the key dupe, just up here. Tritonite is 15 seconds ahead of his PB at Bash. So we may get, no matter the result of this race, we may end up with a double PB, which for Cheese, it's a bit early, but it may be a 29.
Oh, now, small difference here where Cheese was able to very quickly get inside the depth spot for that key dupe, and Tritonite taking a lot more safely. So Cheese saving time over Tritonite just by virtue of having been able to do that movement very confidently. Now, he does miss a bash getting that keystone the second time, so letting Tritonite have another couple of seconds back. And it just keeps happening. Just little things that Tritonite's able to save some seconds on, but then Cheese is able to gain another few, and it's very, very fun to watch. But so far, Cheese has held this lead basically the entire race thus far.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a tug of war where we've got both of these runners slightly slipping just a tiny bit, and another taking, just being able to find a bit more pull, and it just going back and forth, but still sitting ever so slightly in Cheese's favor as we are now heading towards the Stomp Tree. Something to note, Cheese, I believe, has a decent amount of time on his PB to save in the Stomp split. Um, in that same run I was speaking about earlier, he had about 10 seconds that wasn't a gold, just for free. So this is looking like a really clean run from Cheese, as he even gets the blind movement most of the way to the frog.
Oh, baby. Oh, that is very bad. They both dunk their frogs. They're both going to have to take a death. Tritonite reloads. Cheese goes and takes a quick death, or, yeah, no, it was that way. Tritonite's save, though, is further back, so Cheese is back to retry much more quickly. Tritonite not able to take advantage of double bashes while Cheese is. So Cheese, as long as he gets this double bash in, yes, he is good to go. Now Tritonite is going to be right behind, so that could have been catastrophic for Tritonite. It could have been catastrophic for Cheese. Instead, it ends up being nearly a wash, but Cheese's slightly faster method of doing it, thanks to double bashes, he is able to get in a little bit sooner and save some time here.
It would be I'd love to be inside the minds of the runners at this point. Both of them have had incredibly clean runs and now just flubbing up that little bit coming into Stomp. I'd be interested to see if they're thinking, oh, am I still ahead? Is this still a good run for me? As Cheese and Trident just having the smallest of high fives as Trident heads into the Stomp tree.
Yeah, and Trident will be along before too long to follow Cheese out of here. It is worth noting we did hear from Cheese that he is watching the restream. Now that does not, of course, necessarily means he's able to see what's going on at all times, but he is probably at least aware of the situation of the race, that it is pretty much this close. So as he's going into some of these harder, sections of the late game, it's got to be weighing in the back of your mind. I don't know for sure whether Trident is or not. What I can tell you that is probably weighing in the back of his mind, thanks to Nans in our truck, we know that he is 5 seconds ahead of his PB right now. And oh boy, barely managed to get the ability cell from Ringo. And Cheese, as he promised, by the way, did not miss to our cutscene skip.
Yeah, I mean, no one would ever miss that, right? Especially not Cheese after saying it so confidently, as Tritonite also gets it first try. He's been having some trouble with that in a few of his recent runs, so it's good to see him getting it so easily.
She's able to escape from the 5th energy cell safely. Trident doing the same. Again, we're still separated by under 10 seconds, possibly less. And Cheese is going to come on into the Charged Flame tree right now with Trident hot on his heels as we begin basically the most scary sections of the game. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back until the end.
I mean, that's Glades onwards, right? But the difficulty in the speedrun definitely ramps after Charge Flame. Stomp to Charge Flame, it's probably one of the more relaxed splits in the run. You've got Courier Cutscene skip, and other than that, it's pretty chill. But now we're heading into Fast Stompless, Sorrow Bash, heading up into the Sunstone. So any mistakes here will definitely be a lot more noticeable than the small ones that have occurred during the rest of the race.
Yeah, and you've also got to think neither runner really has the opportunity to safety save in a situation like this. Unless Tritonite is not watching the restream, in which case he might think that he can afford to, which maybe he could in the event of, some sort of death or something that could help him out. But in the meantime, with less than 10 seconds difference between them right now, as they're coming into Fast Stompless, everything counts. Every small mistake is going to be magnified. Every missed Fast Stompless shot is going to be, potentially a huge deal. So here comes Cheese. He's going to get set up for a shot, take aim, taking a very long time to aim that shot. He wants to make sure there is no chance of a miss there. It did look good as he's coming into the cell. He does get the shot. Trident now for his as well on controller might be slightly more difficult. He does have an aim I feel like that's high, but Trident is the one with the controller in his hands, so he is heading to the cell and he collects it, and it is good. So both runners now in this cutscene for a moment here.
Yeah, Tritonite's, my gut feeling said it looked good. When you said it was too high, I was like, oh no. But I'm really excited to see that this run continues to be close as Tritonite is sitting through the agonizingly long feather cutscene. Cheese heading up towards Sorry Bash. I believe he's just going to go straight into it with this rocket jump. Unfortunately, drops one double bash, but manages to recover it as Tritonite heads up and goes to collect some energy.
Yeah, Trident taking that bottom frog as Cheese manages to get inside, and he's going to be doing some scary things on his side. So is Trident with the 2-bird style of Sorrow Bash. That bird is a little low, but he's able to, oh boy, get into Sorrow safely. Cheese dashing through the spike cave right now. Picks up the XP, but does not nip those spikes. He is on 4 HP as far as I can tell right now. He actually did end up skipping that health cell he had been planning to take because he felt he needed to. Meanwhile, Trident through a spike cave, and he is taking a little bit more carefully, not dashing through these spikes, making sure that he is definitely not going to die. He definitely does not. And he is going to make it through his charge jump as well. Another little high five here, but possibly a little bit of time loss for Trident thanks to those dashes that... Okay.
Yeah, she's unfortunately getting sent back a bit. Looks like we've got we had an 18-second delta. She is unfortunately being 26 seconds behind his PB as Trident also takes an unfortunate death. So it looks like that delta is still going to be approximately the same. Trident is 20 seconds ahead of his PB at charge jump, so that death may be affecting his mentality just a little bit.
Possibly. We will see as they go on. I do want to correct myself that CheeseLover did take the extra health, so I just kind of missed it when he did. But he clearly had 5 as he had to take damage twice to set up his Terror Break death. So picking up the Sunstone right now, Trident's got to wait through the dropping animation there as he is going to be able to head down. Cheese, meanwhile, is waiting on this laser cycle, and he's on his way to Misty. And again, these are some really tense moments in the run, but he does have that 5 health to draw, and that is potentially a very, very significant just confidence boost as he's going through here.
Something that I think is very interesting is with Trident being 20 seconds ahead of his PB at charge jump, and she's being 26 seconds behind, with only a 30-second difference between their two PBs overall. I think that Cheese might be able to continue to pull ahead, because it seems like Trident has a slightly slower late game in comparison. But both of it looks pretty clean. Cheese heading up to this cutscene. Trident hot on his heels.
Trident does drop a safety save as he picks up the first Keystone in Misty. Cheese, having gotten this, the second and also watched the Atsu's Torch cutscene, so he is nearly approaching the climb tree here, and Trident gonna watch this cutscene real quick, and then he'll do the same. This Misty movement for both of them, very successful so far, no major issues, but you know, the second half is really where the danger kind of is. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's a lot of places where you really want to throw your energy into charge dashes without canceling them, because the act of canceling them is a little bit slow, but we'll see how that goes, whether Cheese opts to throw down any safety saves, or Trident for that matter.
Yeah, it's interesting to note, I think Cheese has historically had some issues with Bang Zoom. He was practicing it before starting the race as well. I saw in the 5 or 10 seconds before.
Oh, goodness. Sorry to interrupt you, Hoji. Trident took a dip into the spikes there right before the third Keystone, and he had the patience to make sure to charge up a charge jump and jump safely out of there. So he's able to stay alive, but not a time loss he really wants, as Cheese is able to throw down a safety save later in Misty. Even if he takes a death, he'll go back to that at least. And here comes that Bang Zoom we were just talking about.
Manages to get it incredibly cleanly. He was practicing the movement without the sharks there, and it looked a little dodgy, but it's great to see that in the run, where it counts, he manages to get it really cleanly as Tritonite is now heading up to that boss fight as well.
A little bit of a flub there, but he is going to be able to recover and take out the mini bosses. But as you can see, Cheese is definitely, exactly as you foreshadowed, has definitely opened up a more significant lead over the course of Misty just through his high level of late game optimization, which is very impressive to see and is really going to help him as he's trying to close out this race, because it started from a very, very close, that is to say the most recent kind of gap building started from a very, very close position back at Charge Jump Tree, and just since then, Cheese has been building up more and more advantage. So here we're coming into the Grenade Tree, the last skill of the game before we can go finish. This is one scary part where Cheese just needed to get through that laser safely, and he does do so. Gonna throw down his save and learn an ability correctly to skip a 70-second cutscene. So a very important skip there, and Cheese definitely does not want to be watching any more lore.
Nobody wants to be watching that cutscene. Something, the lead that Cheese has opened up, although it is relatively large, I'm pretty sure that it's still within the scope of getting completely evaporated by a death in the escape. So
That's
he's definitely not
true.
out of the woods yet, as Tritonite is now skipping that cutscene and is just heading into the light grenade tree.
She's having a little bit of minor flubs here on his movement on the way out, which aren't a huge deal, fortunately. Not costing him a ton of time, but maybe making things a little bit scarier than they need to be. But he is able to make it pretty quickly to the teleporter here, and Tritonite is still leaving from the skill tree. So we'll see. He's circled, I think, his health. I'm not sure if he's planning to skip the final health cell here. Normally he would take 6 total health. The last health cell is out here in Horror Fields. I'm not sure if he was circling that to tell us he's not going to take it, or circling it to tell us, no, I still need to take it. Here we go. We'll find out momentarily. He is skipping it. Now he's going for 5 HP. And he feels that Tritonite is close enough behind that he needs to do this to ensure his potential victory.
Yeah, Tritonite is pretty close behind. Tritonite has had a lot of issues with dual warp recently, so I feel like if he's able to get that cleanly, a single death will be the difference here. Tritonite is currently 29 seconds ahead of his PB.
CheeseLover, for his part, he is significantly behind his PB, but he is still significantly ahead of Tritonite, and for right now, that's really all that matters to him. And what really matters to him is getting door warp successfully. And so far, we are already on 4 misses, and Tritonite is about to begin his door warp, and Cheese still has not got. Here's Tritonite's first attempt to sync with Cheese's 6, but he doesn't get it either. This is ridiculous right now. Cheese does not get it.
Oh my
Tritonite does
gosh.
not get it. Oh, gee, I can't.
Flip a coin. I've got my Ori coin. You're a charge jump ruler.
This is gosh, Kuro. Go with Kuro, sure.
All right.
Here we go. Cheese gets door warp and Tritonite
Goes
does not, so
charge jump.
Cheese will have an advantage going into this final escape as Tritonite is now continuing to struggle. It's a frame perfect trick, and the Q for it is
Finally
really,
gets it.
really tough. Oh my goodness. Well, here we go, OG. Final escape coming up right here with a slight advantage for Cheese going in.
The slightest of slight advantages. I think either runner will be going, if only I had got door warp 2 attempts earlier than I had managed to. CheeseLover looking pretty clean at the moment. With that 6 health, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to go through the swim without too much issue. He manages to make it through. Now there's just the grenade jump. A soft lock here would be tragic for either runner.
but there is no soft lock as Cheese aims it and immediately pulls off the inputs on the first try, and he is done. So Cheese has secured his victory here, the barest of margins, but it is enough to count as Tritonite comes in for his grenade jump, and he gets it as well, barely behind Cheese. What a great finish here. Great job by both of them.
That was an incredible race, especially at the end. I'm incredibly impressed that both of these runners had such a clean escape after the amount of door warp attempts that they both had. CheeseLover finishing up with a 31.18, 70 seconds from his PB, and Tritonite with a 31.34.
Only separated by 16 seconds after all this. Very, very impressive showing by both of them. But man, like, again, it's always really difficult to play up to your PB level in a race, but both of these runners doing that to such a great extent throughout this race, literally everything other than door warp for both of them was incredibly clean, and when it came to that one really finicky frame perfect trick that kind of just trips everyone up from time to time, at least we can say it didn't really make a difference here. They both just got screwed by it.
Yeah, a combined 20 attempts in this race. It is heartening to see, as a objectively worse runner, that everybody has issues with door warp and that it's not just me. But yeah, as you were saying, to perform so well in a best of one tournament race, both of them so close to their PB standards, is really impressive.
All right, so in the end, it does kind of go basically like the way the stats indicated, but man, with just so much tension the entire time. But Tritonite, throughout that race, kept very close to Cheese, just wasn't quite able to make up the gap and turn around at any given point. And now we will be joined by our victor, CheeseLover. Cheese, congratulations on the victory here. And I guess tell us the most obvious thing about that race. Just tell us at door warp, what was going through your mind? What was your thought process?
Yeah, well, like I said before the race, I don't know if it's my new PC setup or what, but something happens if I don't get to warp first try. I just can't get it at all. I think I saw in chat someone said like it was 11th try or something. I was panicking because I saw that Tritonite was so close behind me. And then I was like, just like, as I kept on going, I watched the stream, and it was like, by my try, he was already on his like second or third or something on the restream. And I just didn't know what was happening, and then I was already through, so I couldn't watch, and I just had to hope that I got it before him. And I only found out that I was in front as I got my first grenade jump, thankfully, which was just crazy. Yeah, I didn't even know.
Talking about the fact that that you did, you mentioned that you knew kind of Tritonite was that close. On how frequently and like how closely were you checking up on him over the course of the race? Obviously, it was a very close race. So how much did that play in, and how much of an opportunity did you have to look?
Basically, like any 5 or 6 second like gap, like if it's a skill tree or whatnot, I just peeked over at the restream on my phone. So I knew that he was basically right on my tail, like within 10 seconds most of the time I was checking. So it's pretty close. So, but like I said, unless I was like really far behind, I was going 6 HP no matter what, because I've been a bit sketchy in Sorrow lately. So yeah.
Yeah, speaking of Sorrow, you took that unfortunate death heading out. Obviously, you couldn't have checked the restream just then, and you were both relatively close at charge jump. Was there any point in the time where you got, well, other than at door warp, where you were worried about the state of the race, or were you just confident in your own abilities throughout?
I I was pretty confident in Misty. I don't think, other than I think I took 3 HP somewhere, which is real stupid, but in terms of speed, my Misty was amazing. So like throughout that, as I kept on going faster and faster, my confidence grew a bit. So it was just really at Dorp where was the first inkling the entire race. I was like, oh no, this is going bad.
Oh man. Well, looking forward, you've managed to take the victory today, and you're gonna move on to the round of 16. And your next opponent is the number 2 seed Wilson. Pretty scary opponent, but you know, how do you approach that match, and how are you gonna go about, you know, kind of dealing with Wilson as an opponent?
Obviously it's a massive step up. So I'm gonna have to just go like I'm going for a PB, 4 HP, like all the risks I can possibly take, and hope that he screws up somewhere early, because he's had a couple races where he looked a bit rough. So if I can get a low 30 or even a PB, then I might have a chance. But I'll just hope for the best on the day and see if I can perform well.
Nice. Got any questions left, OG, or should we go ahead and move?
I'm just hoping that with your race against Wilson, I'll be able to cover it as it should be scheduled at a reasonable time. Speaking of other races, tomorrow we have 5 races going from 12 until 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, all on Speed Gaming 1. First up, we've got Razul versus Brynhold, followed by Richard versus Hydra, Infinite versus Clean, Fooligan versus Tass Snoop, and finally, to round it out, our final match of the first round of the bracket, Lupilu versus LA Jiminy. Which, other than your own races, are you looking forward to tomorrow, Fuller?
Oh, absolutely. I live for these days where we've got like 5 or 10 or whatever stupid number of matches all back to back to back to back. So I'm really looking forward to being able to put on this show tomorrow, and of course I'm looking forward to my race, and I'm also looking forward to you know, kind of how the round of 16 shapes out. Tomorrow again will be, as OG said, the last day of the round of 32. All of the matchups are going to be decided. Round of 16 will be next week, and we will see how it goes. As you can already see some of those matchups: Wilson and CheeseLover, Terra and Covert Muffin, Lurking Assassin and Luster. These are some very good players, and we will have some great action for you. But for now, Cheese, thank you very much for joining us. Congratulations again on your victory.
Thank you very much. Yeah, GG to try tonight as well.
Yeah, echoing that for sure. GG to try tonight. Thank you very much, OG, for joining me, and to Rufus and Nans in the truck, and Stinger PA for being a awesome fellow, helping us out with the restream at what I believe is 1 a.m. for him. So thank you all very much, and have a great
Good night, everyone.